Okay, here we go. Get this full screen. Perfect. Alright. My opinion doesn't really matter. No one knows who I am. I'm just recording this for fun, so people watch it, they watch it. If they don't, whatever, I'm having a good time. The chat's going crazy. Don't know what to say. I'm just eating some fucking tarellini right now. Tarellini are like these Italian little like bread donuts. They're lovely. It looks so fucking cool. Foxhole Inferno is gonna be so good, man. I don't get how big streamers manage to have chats like this. Like, look how fast this is moving. How does the moderator deal with this? I guess it's all automated messages. Sorry if it's just me chewing right now. I think it's about to start. It's got to be starting now. Hold on, what's my volume? I've got to check. My volume is max. It's fucking chat. What is this spam? Banned man Larry. Did he get banned? About fucking time. Foxhole, but with Fox girls, absolutely. That's the dream. I think someone's making a mod that's like Fox people. The fucking fun.
Hello?
Here we go.
Hello and welcome to our not so bi-weekly Devstream. Our once in a while Devstream that we do when we have an update.
When we have time. We have time, man.
Sometimes we don't even do it. Hi and welcome. We are Siege Camp. For a lot of people, a lot of people probably haven't watched all the dev streams. There are probably people here who have watched every single one of them, which I think is pretty darn cool. My name is Matt. Above me is HB.
Hello.
Hi HB.
So happy to be back.
Over here is Mark. Over here is Max. And up here is Julian.
Hey.
We are going to talk about a really big update for Foxhole.
It's a bit quiet.
Well,
Yeah, Mark, why don't you start us off here?
hope everyone read the 1.0 frequently asked questions page. You guys all read it, right?
Yeah, everybody always
Yeah,
reads FAQs. Like it's
Yeah.
just always
People
happens.
love reading text before they hit the checkbox button every
I
single
think
time.
They know, for instance, that like we're bringing back community highlights right now, and it's a special one because
That's
it's like
why
a
you're here.
yeah, it's a 1 hour community highlights.
Yeah,
1 hour of community highlights.
we're bringing
is
it
how
back.
We're
We're
bringing
gonna
it back,
start the stream.
so get ready.
Get your popcorn. But no, if there is one point takeaway from the FAQ is that this update is going to be very similar to the update we pushed out last year. It's just another update, and next year there's going to be another one. And while 1.0 does seem kind of special, it is cool, and there's certainly going to be some cool stuff that we're going to be putting to the game. At the same time, it's just the same, and we're just the same, and we're doing the same thing we've been always doing. We're going to be doing the same thing that we've always going to be doing for the next year, and hopefully for many years to come. So that's it. You didn't read? Yep. Sorry, go on.
Sorry, Matt. A lot of people are saying that it's
Saying
really
that-
quiet.
I've
Yeah.
like doubled the volume, so
Okay, so should be good.
There's a
Cool.
guy who's just being fucking weird.
Well,
Very
I'm glad
exciting.
everyone
Message.
got that important information.
Okay, never mind.
It's because nobody could hear you.
Oh yeah, what the fuck?
I mean,
fuck is
hey,
this?
it was they just turn up their if it's too quiet, just turn up your volume.
If you genuinely,
because we're pretty loud here based on the metrics I have.
what the fuck was that?
So
If you send messages like
Yeah.
this,
Main
you're a
thing I
dickhead.
wanted
Like,
to
actually,
do,
even as a
main thing I
joke,
wanted
just
to
shut the
do
fuck up
before
and listen,
we
man.
start is
The
that
dickheads
we
in this
won't be
chat.
covering every single thing coming in the update in this stream because this time's gonna be limited. So we're gonna be covering what we can, and then we're gonna be following up in a blog post after, and probably next week with anything that we may have missed. So
One last thing. Apparently now we have people saying that Matt is too loud and everybody else is still too low. So
yeah, I can see the chat, guys. Don't worry. Just keep going.
great, awesome. Let's get on with it. So before we start, for everyone that's new, just wanted to
What the
give a
fuck was
little bit
that?
of a history on where we've been and what we've been doing for the
Yes.
last 5 years.
I'm closing chat for this. They're being
We
annoying.
started down this path 6 years ago when we wanted to make Foxhole, and everyone thought that we were nuts. We were a team of 7, and we wanted to build this crazy, persistent World War game where it seemed crazy at the time. We were like, hey, there's going to be thousands of people in this world. They're all going to be working together.
It
All
was a
things
crazy
no
idea. I
war
don't know
are
how
gonna
they did
be
it.
Made by the players. There's going to be supply lines. They're going to be sent out by the players. And all we did was set a couple of goals at the start, and we just stuck to those goals for the last 5-6 years. And just to talk about a few of them. One is we always have a gameplay first approach, and that's why we don't do things like selling microtransactions. We
Hell
are
yeah.
always our concern over that is we don't want to make decisions that are going to make the game worse. And we feel like when you start selling microtransactions, that you're going to start thinking about other things, like how am I going to change the game to accommodate the microtransactions instead of trying to make the game the best it can be. The next thing is that we're always going to be trying to push the envelope on the game design side, and this doesn't always land the right way, but and sometimes you guys are going to be very loud about it when we don't get things right, but we're always going to try to take risks. We're always going to try to take risks if it's going to push the envelope. If we think it's going to get us closer to the goals, that's what we're going to do. But the positive side of that is if something doesn't come out perfect, we're going to keep working on the game. We're going to make it better. So doesn't always work out. I'm sure you guys have seen in the past, but we're always going to be there. We're going to work on the next update. We're going to fix the issues. We're going to make it better. And those are the few things that we've stuck to, and we're going to continue to
Who the
stick
fuck
to.
is this guy? Shut the fuck up. I guess my question is,
In the future.
am I meant to believe 1.0 would
yeah,
break the game in
that's-
6 months when
that's
shotguns are still to be
basically
fixed?
We've gone through.
Shut the fuck up. Yo. Oh, these are the
50 at
updates.
this point, including this one, and 8 major releases. So these are 8 larger updates where we add a whole bunch of content. We try to take huge strides in the big updates, and
Oh, sorry.
and yeah, we've grown from a team of 7 to a team of around 20 now. So it's been a long journey. And to kind of recap what happened last year, we wanted to do a really big update for 1.0, and there was so much we wanted to do for it that we had to split it up into 2 updates. So we had the entrenched update last year, and
That's crazy. It was a year ago, man. Like, actually.
added a bunch of features on the base building side, and here we are
second year
today
uni for me,
with the
fucking hell.
second half of the 1.0 update. And I think this update's a little bigger, and I think it's cooler, but yeah,
I can't
guess
get
we'll
any
see.
harder. Please.
But again, like I said at the beginning, this is just another step in the journey. We're gonna have another big update probably next year, and we're just gonna continue on as usual. So
Well, I'm gonna correct you here.
Oh.
There's 9 major updates.
Oh! Fucked up!
counting the one that we are right now.
Fucked up!
And there's
I
10.
lose track of the numbers.
50 is a lot of updates, though. I have to say.
Killed him.
Yeah. So we're, like I said, we're already looking in December. We are gonna plan. That's roughly when we're gonna be releasing the
For many
post-
years to come. Let's
update.
fucking
And
go!
If you've been with us us for long enough, you'll know that in the smaller updates, we tend to focus on smaller features, uh, improving workflows, improving the game balance, and early next year we're going to do another one. And then, past that, it's just going to be the same. Next year is going to look a lot just the same as this year. So
Fucking idiots in
And
this chat.
in the future,
A lot
for
of
the
them are
future
cool, but
updates,
people
they're
like
gonna be
this, like, bro,
submerged
just
in
shut
a
the
lot
fuck
of,
up.
hard work. So
that's going to be exciting. Okay, so let's just dive right into the first feature.
Oh, yes! That's fucking cool. I've got my arms up in the air in celebration. That's so sick. You can manage power grids. Yo. Oh, that's crazy. Water management. Oh my god, this is gonna be so fucking cool. Building it's gonna be pain. Creative construction tools. The fuck is that? Is that a rocket launcher half track? Oh my god, what the fuck? It's Factorio now. It's actually Factorio. Oh my god, that's so cool seeing all those shells stacked. Oh, that's sick. So you can like make them bigger. It's actually Factorio. That's crazy. That's so cool. What's going on in the top left there? Guess there's a thing you move for cranes. That's so sick. And then you get the little trains that can take stuff around. Wow. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at him go. That's fucking sick. That's so cool.
That's
That
great.
is really nice.
Yeah, so basically this new features is called facilities, and facilities is a brand new player activity for logistics, and logistics has always been at the heart of Foxhole, but for so many years now, and I think even people on our own team have always felt this way. That logistics has been a really neat concept, and it's cool in the context of the war, but on its own, the gameplay hasn't always been the best, right? You're sort of doing the same activity over and over again. You don't see any progression, and we've been working almost a year on this feature, maybe longer, and we feel like facilities is a huge next step for Foxhole on the logistics side, and we're basically every feature we're going to show you today is going to tie back into facilities, because facility is going
This guy
unlock
loves it.
a whole new branch of the game. And just to walk through some of what it's all about, basically facilities are player-built industrial bases. So they're going to be these new type of base. Instead of a bunker base, you're going to be building out a logistics base where
Can't wait to RP as a
can
health and safety
create
inspector.
new resources. You can produce new weapons and equipment.
No one
you're
ever want to play Frontline ever again.
It's going to change the way that the tech tree works in some ways, and we're going to talk about that later. I'm sure everyone is going to be really excited about that.
yeah,
And most importantly, players are finally going to be able to scale up their logistics operations, right? So instead of doing the same thing over again, logistics power is going to increase throughout the span of the war. And one note that I want to make here is that facilities is going to expand upon the existing.
So it's not in a logi
existing logic
town.
game.
So you make
It's
your
not gonna
own
replace
sort
it,
of
so
refinery
the
platforms.
existing
Now that is sick.
logistics game is still going to be here.
So it's an overground base. That's
This
cool.
will just unlock an entire new branch of content for the game. And that last point there, one of the most important things about facilities is that in the context of Foxhole, it's going to serve as a strategic target for the enemy, but it's going to be a player-driven target right now. So besides just going for the victory points, targeting the enemy facilities is going to become a huge part of the game.
It's amazing. I think that the
More
first
stuff
time
for
I
Ox to
recall,
grief.
like talking about something like this, it goes back as far as the shippable containers. So those of you who remember when the shippable containers came out, like that was when we started these conversations about what we eventually wanted to see from logistics. And
God
most of
damn.
you
The
probably don't
Toby
even
Fox
remember
of
when shippable
this
containers
kind of game.
came out because it was that long ago. So
But yeah, it's like
Yeah.
what, 2 years almost, if you consider how long we've been talking about this kind of things.
Exactly, Max, and I think on that point, I've always felt that every logistics update that we've done, and most specifically the one where we introduced the shipping containers back in update 26, we've always wanted to reach for something like this, but we just didn't have the time and resources to do it. And this is why I'm so excited about this now.
It's worth noting as well that the old and this new Logi map, like they interact with each other too. Like there's some cool interactions that happen.
It's an
Yeah.
extension, it's not a
Mhm.
replacement.
Yeah.
And Max, maybe you want to talk a little bit more about what it actually feels like to try to build a facility in the game.
yeah, sure. So as Mark said earlier, it does. We're gonna hopefully see some changes to the tech tree. So, but it won't be
Ooh.
dramatically different than what you guys are used to. So don't get your hopes up about that.
Ugh.
There will be the hope here is that when you guys are developing these facilities, it's gonna feel a little bit like you're gonna start small, and as the game progresses, you're gonna get larger and larger facilities. My hope is that, or our hope is that you guys will want to cooperate between facilities, so it's not like you're just going to build one giant giga facility that the entire faction uses. Our hope is that everybody on the team will work together to produce bigger and better things. And we have added. The system is extremely complicated, so hopefully you guys will be able to help us out with balancing it. But the idea is that you guys will want to try to optimize transportation, not just to the front line, but to each other's facilities. Um, and yeah, you'll want to manage your power grids, your liquid transportation. So much to talk about there, which I will wait until the end to really get into detail for.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's so much here. You can see a lot of it in these screenshots. Those pipes are not just there for aesthetics; they have real gameplay consequences. Just like the catwalks, just like those silos, all of these structures here, everything here is interactable. The power lines, nothing here is just for looks. Everything here has a use and a purpose, which is something
That's
we've always wanted
sick.
from these facilities.
Yeah, and in fact, one of the big challenges in developing this feature is that um, that surprised us because we never had this problem in the past. Where actually playing through all the content has been a bottleneck. So as part of the balancing process, usually in the past updates, when we, for example, worked on the artillery game, we can
I
just
would
sort of like
speak
play
more, but
through
I
all
don't
the
want to speak
artillery
over them.
content. We can play through it like as many times as we want. We can fine tune it, but with this feature, it's like pretty much playing a factory building simulator or a town building simulator, and it takes that
Factorio.
long just for a single playthrough. So it turns out that the testing process itself was a big part of development, which is a new challenge that we haven't seen before. So I personally think it's the most amount of depth that we've ever seen in a feature in Foxhole, and that's why it excites me so much because um, it's it it has that depth, but at the same time, it's plopped into the rest of the war, right? So there's still gonna be partisans attacking these places. You're gonna be making the output of your factory simulator is gonna actually be going to the front to actual players. You're not just gonna be happy to have built it for the sake of building it. You're gonna be happy because you're gonna be helping your team. And this feature I'm just really super excited about. But let's move on and start
I've
talking
heard
about
about Grom. Apparently,
what
Grom's a very
facilities
shitty guy,
is actually
so
going to bring
this guy's a moron. I don't know what he's talking about.
to the game. And here's just a slide showing
Oh,
off a
milk.
bunch of the
There's
resources that are
gotta be
coming.
milk
So
now. Looks like a
there's
fucking
gonna
milk.
be tons
stuff.
of new resources as a part of this game, and they're going to be used towards building tons of new structures and vehicles and tech. But let's show you what the first cool thing facilities is going to do.
Oh. Fuel station. Yo, you have to set them up. Oh, that's sick. No more fuel trucks. Automatically. Yeah. Oh, that's sick. Oil pipelines. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's so cool. This is so cool. They've outdone themselves, man. Fast bulk transport of resources. Oh, you can now go for back. I thought they'd be big trains, to be honest, but this works. I'm fine with this. I'm fine with a dinky little train. So you have pipelines to transfer liquids.
All right,
You have the
so
trains
first
to transfer
thing
solids.
is resource automation. So one of the big things in Foxhole is that the resource grind never changes. So now with facilities, you can change it, right? You can make it better over the war. There's a lot of really cool things you can build. And maybe Max, you want to get into it a little bit about these things?
Yeah, sure. Stop me if I'm going too far and I'm overlapping some future slide. So
Will do.
pipelines. So as you guys know, fuel in this game has been somewhat basic to this point. And so for this update, we wanted to go into depth about liquids
Overhead pipes and
fuel
underground pipes.
transportation because
Oh, that's sick.
as we all know, liquid and oil fuels in general have always been a big part of warfare and a huge part of logistics. So we're hoping to tap into that a little bit. The pipes, the overhead pipes, the underground pipes, all of this stuff is meant to simulate a kind of localized localized transport system so that you can move liquids more easily around your base. You're not micromanaging driving up to every single base with your oil tankers and your shippable fuel things, or shippable fuel containers, which you guys saw in the video. Lots to talk about there, but I would go on for a long time, so I'll move on. Similar to those pipes, we have the mine carts. When you're in the facility creating these new resources,
Dev man, if we feed the little
they're gonna be
train, will
harder
it
to
grow
move
into a
than your normal
full-grown train?
resources, and you're gonna need
That's funny.
you're
Well
gonna
done,
need to
Ralik.
create
Funny man.
a localized transportation system, both for moving these large materials and for the outputs of those materials around your base. So you're not just driving trucks up to every single base, and hopefully there will be enough gameplay there that you guys will be able to optimize your facilities. You'll be able to build the rails. You'll be able to build the switches, as you guys saw in the video, so you can connect these railways and have different paths that go through your base. There'll be multiple types of cars that carry different types of resources, and hopefully we made it as sandboxy as possible so that you guys can come up with new ways to use it that we didn't even think of.
You can still use trucks if you want to, or you can optimize it much better with this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or if you want to do it on foot, Julian.
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, you can just carry all
Can't
the
do
heavy
that.
items.
There's
Yeah.
one resource
Quick
at a
logi,
time.
best logi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Powered harvesters, you guys can. I think this is something that people have been asking for us since the very inception of the game. Is that you don't want to just hold down left click to gather resources. So we've created some ways for you guys to automate that process as well. Yeah.
I think this is with that one. It's worth noting that you can still left click to all you want at the scrap nodes. This thing is at the scrap nodes, but it's leaving all those nice pieces for you to hit with a hammer if you really want to.
We're sort of sitting here wondering how
so
it would
these
sort of fix the
harvesters will,
burnout, but because they're
if you put
automating
the
so
work
much of the
into setting them
resource
up,
collection,
put
I
the
think
work into fueling them,
it then
they
allows
will
people to focus on the fun part of actually
essentially
building the
do
bases and
scrapping
stuff. So that's
for you.
good.
But if you wanted
I think
to do it
anyway.
manually,
That's
that
my
option
prediction.
is, of course, still there for you. Or if you didn't want to go through the work of progressing your facility. How about that fuel station? It's been a while.
We have had this fuel station in our project files for like a year and a half.
I mean,
Oh
it's been in the home
god.
regions.
It's in the
Yeah.
home region.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we have always intended to bring this to you guys. The reason it kept getting pushed was because of a lot of this stuff. It was stuff we knew we wanted to do, and we didn't want to give you guys half of what we wanted. We wanted to give you guys the whole picture. So it was never held back for any other reason other than we wanted to give it to you in its completed state, not some half-baked state. And it's finally here now. The shippable.
Where's the
you've always
Inferno
wanted
part?
is-
Fucking,
it's
can you
finally
not
come to
wait, bro?
Foxhole.
So you can say that facilities started as the liquid shippable container, and then the rest feature creeped out. Like we feature creeped for 2 years and expanded into the rest, right?
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
absolutely.
Why
Okay,
did no one
let's move
reply
on
for
to
like
the
5 seconds? Must have been a
next thing
delay.
that facility is
I
gonna
was
bring
just sitting there
us.
going like, is no one gonna respond to
Oh.
him?
I always-
Yo,
this is my
the
worst
BMS
thing, I always
Mineseeker.
Just forget that they're
want
like
more
the.
back-
Mineseeker is
but
the Bassett
yeah, this
Motor
is just a
Society's
close look
mechanized
at the,
mule. This small 040
at the
locomotive
minecart
can haul
system.
tons of weight over short distances
And
with
a
little
couple
overhead.
vehicles that
Ideal for mining
are
operations with
available.
short-range
So there's
supply
gonna be
chains.
the,
Fast transport of raw resource and
the
processing materials between
actual
facilities.
minecart, which is there to store the raw resources. So that's the
Choo
equivalent.
choo. Oh
of your
yeah,
dump truck now.
let's
That's
go.
equivalent to your truck that carries your sulfur, your scrap, efficiently, and then you have the flatbed, which is there to carry your large items, right? So there's going to be new materials that are large, but yeah, you'll be able to basically
Some
carry
of these chat messages just funny.
any large item. So
So this is the first vehicle slide of Inferno. But I want to point out, just in case it's not clear from this picture, when you build one, you're not building all three. Those are each in an individual asset, and you can get as many
Oh, okay.
flatbeds as you want, or as many coal cars.
So you can just
as
keep
want. It's not
expanding it.
like
That's sick.
That's not one thing.
Modular,
Yeah,
let's
BMS
fucking
Mineseeker
go.
is specifically the locomotive. So the other cars are totally separate.
Train operator uniform.
Right.
Yes, this guy knows what's up.
now we'll
Yes.
move on to the next feature.
Oh, flamethrowers. It's got to be flamethrowers. Got to be. Foundations. Oh shit. Oh, being able to make that slope must be so fucking cool. Is this all player built? Oh, that's sick. You can build like all the French Yes! Player built roads. Let's fucking go. Oh, that's going to be sick to get to. And this is going to help with getting those bunker bases that you just can't get the Logi truck in because it's blocked. Docks and crates. You can build docking areas. Oh my god. Heavy rail. Listen. Oh my god. Well. Oh my god, it went under. That's crazy. Chat is just losing their mind. Sick. Was that a battle tank?
All right, so players will
They're
be
bringing
able
back
to
the battle
lay
tank.
down
They're
new
bringing it back. They're bringing it back.
infrastructure
I
friendly,
never
right?
played with a battle
again,
tank before.
what
I
that
want
does
them to
mean
bring it
for
back.
facilities is going to increase your logi power throughout the war, right? So concrete foundations, obviously they're a big part of building a facility. You want to be able to build them on
I am
flat
naked. Oh
land.
my god.
You can make a dock if you want to. So what's exciting about this is that we've already seen players trying to build out these massive ports in the game, right? With zero tools, right? It's actually really amazing. We've seen players use the standard vehicle crane. So we wanted to not provide a static crane, but go further and provide a crane that is on rails. And just to be clear, this rail is also built by players. It can be scaled. It can be made as long as you want. So it's just completely a sandbox tool to allow you to build your own ports and create your own shipping centers in the world. And this last point here, maybe Max, you were pushing hard for this one, so maybe you could talk about the roads.
Yes.
Provisional roads. I mean, what is there to say about this except that like the players, you guys have been pushing for buildable roads for a really long time. There are obviously we have to um, we have a couple of limitations placed on them, so please don't get too excited. Um, Players have been wanting to be able to build their own roads for a very, very long time. Uh, and yeah, I think it was just finally time to add them. We wanted to make sure that you guys didn't feel constrained to building your facilities next to the roads that we placed, that we wanted you guys to be able to place your facilities where you wanted to. And one of the requirements for that was you'd obviously need to be able to build a road to it. But that being said, and Matt will attest that the current existing roads that are placed on
Oh,
the road is going to be the
yes.
most significant.
Sorry, I
for
just looked
your
up from my
strategic
phone.
high-level planning.
So, yeah, the Sky Hauler is the heavy rail crane that was shown in the video, and this is honestly in my top 3 pieces of content in this update. I just think it's the mountain goal for Logi. Well, maybe there's some other ones. But it is one of the mountain goals for Logi in the game, and if you upgrade your facility enough, again, the one thing I want to stop and point out is a lot of these things we're showing, they require work, right? So you do have to build up your facility. You have to play the facility game throughout the war. It's not just going to be at the beginning. Everybody gets one of these. If you can achieve something like a Sky Hauler, it means you already gone through a whole bunch of work. Or if you didn't go through it, someone in your clan has gone through it. Someone on your faction has gone through it, and they're able to share these things with you, right?
I'll just speak to that. We tried hard to capture that feel of like a proper dock crane. We made sure that.
Sorry, once again, I've got a lot to say, so it might be quite boring, but it's just like
a road with it if you want.
It's really insane.
We definitely made sure that the shipping containers will fit under.
Waiting for the Star Wars update, but this is cool.
Shipping containers and just.
I hope my mouth is close to the mic. I'm just sort of to the right of it.
I'm excited for this. We really tried to make it cool.
It's gonna be cool to see what people.
There's going to be so many new tutorials for this now.
Okay, well, I think this is for Logi players. We've seen what facilities can do, but for everyone else, and I think this is represents a lot of players, what they can see facilities gonna do on the combat side, on the tech side.
We've shown you how to build Logi. Now let's show you how to destroy it.
Yes! Destruction. Flamethrower.
Alright.
Flamethrower. Yes, it's for flamethrower. It's gotta be. What the fuck? Oh my god. What the fuck? Whoa! I'm pogging out of my mind right now, you can't see it. Yo, that's so fucking cool! Yo! You can upgrade them now? You can put fucking things on them now? Yo, okay, listen, we gotta have decals. If they haven't got decals...
Yeah, so this is a huge deal. Basically, how facilities is gonna influence tech and change the way that players build their vehicles. So obviously, it wouldn't be a big update with a whole bunch of new vehicles. There's going to be new types of emplacements, new field guns for both factions, new tank variants. But an amazing thing, we've heard a lot of feedback from you guys over the years.
Oh my god, I just looked up from my phone. What is that tank? That is so cool. Nah, man, I love when they really lean into the fantasy side of it. Look how sick that is. I know that's based on a real tank, but that is so fucking cool. Oh, that's gonna be so cool to play on a tank squad.
A light tank, for example, and if you wanted to produce a variant of a light tank, you can go ahead, you bring to facility.
94.5 millimeter for a tank shell.
They can make any variant they want. So full freedom. right?
Okay,
And
listen,
at the
the,
same
the
time,
stuff before was cool, but
higher
I
tier
don't play
tanks,
Logi a lot.
right?
Now that we're
Subs have
here,
to wait for the whole tech tree to wrap around to the point
fuck
where
yeah, now
you
now
are
I'm
supposed to
now
end before you get to
I've came.
make
I've
a higher
nutted
tier
right now.
tank.
Like this
Now,
is
if you have the facility for it, if you produce the resources, if you've gone through the work,
fantasy
you
World
can
War
upgrade
tanks.
any of these
Are
vehicles. There's a
peak
couple
design.
exceptions. You
Valkyria
can always upgrade
Chronicles.
any
I'm getting
vehicle
those
to
vibes right now, man.
second and third tier,
Fucking love these
completely free
tanks.
of the constraints of the tech tree, right?
So-
And we're just so pumped about this.
The tech tree still exists. You're still unlocking your tech. You're still voting, but then once you unlock facilities, you're basically cheating that and doing whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, the basic tech tree is still going to be there for unlocking the base version of the vehicles, but in terms of the variants, players are going to have the freedom, so there won't be a case where you know, your faction voted for some other tank and now you can't use it in this war. If you built a facility, you can build the variant, right?
So now you can build the Scorpion tank without having to pick it on,
Yes!
on the tree. I know everybody's been wanting to build the Scorpion tank.
We'll finally see two in the world.
I can build the
It'll be
tank
great.
yet. I need these thick mommy
And the
tanks.
new ammo types,
I'm looking forward to the porn of the tank.
talk about that.
Is
Oh,
ta-
yeah.
oh no, I was gonna say is tank porn
so
a thing?
we've had the
Tank porn
75
is
millimeter
absolutely a thing,
before
but
in
I
the
don't
game.
blame him, man.
Um,
Look at him.
and we're bringing
Look
it
at
back
him.
for big,
Thick
all the big
motherfuckers.
guns. And we have
I'm gonna
introduced the
Callahan.
94.5 millimeter anti-tank shell as well, which is the kind of counterpart. We have the 40 and the 68, and now we have the 75 and the 94.5 is kind of the counter to it. And Max, you can speak to how it's made and whatnot.
Yeah, there's been some differences to so many of you who played the game a long time ago might remember the 75 millimeter shell. There's been some changes to it. We're hoping it won't be it will feel different from what you remember. So expect larger explosions. We hope.
Yes.
But
We know.
But expect yeah. Yeah, I feel like we'll talk more about this later, so I won't get too
Yeah. So just we're gonna go through a gauntlet of new content. So we'll try to get through this.
This is
Okay.
part one, guys.
We want to do we want to point out though that the two ammo types are heavy items right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So the
right.
new you'll see the count how destructive they are will speak to why they're heavy items.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe we can jump right into all the vehicles. There's gonna be some that are not part of the stream. Like I said, there's just
Big head. You can land a plane
so
on
much
that
content,
thing.
and they're
The Talos is a Valiant
like
modification
this,
to the
but
85
follow
series, fitted with an
next week.
oversized
So
75mm
there's something that
cannon.
wasn't here,
Knowing that such a
you know,
heavy
I'm
cannon
not
would likely
saying
not be
for
suitable,
next
the
week,
engineers
but,
built
you
it to
know,
disperse weight in
there's
such a
small
manner
chance
that the
there
85
might
series
be
chassis
more things
could
in
bear
those,
it.
right?
Crew of 4, so you
This
got what, like
tank,
commander.
the Talos is a while
So
ago.
where's the
some
fourth
people
seat?
in the
I guess
community
like
were
there must
asking
be
if
like
their
some sort of
Falcon
hull
is
gun
done
there.
with its
Because you've got the guy who fires
variant,
main cannon, you've got the
because
commander,
they
you've got the
didn't have
driver.
two,
So there's got to
and I
be
repeatedly said no, we have more.
there's got to be like a
So we made
hull
this
gun
giant
there.
monster turret and stuck it on the Falcon, which I really like. Historically, I really like examples where armies kind of pushed their technology to the limits, where they like strained the chassis of a tank too far, and we wanted to represent that in the game, and that's how this came about. Yeah, there's your front and back shot.
Show me the back shot again, I need it.
Max, go nuts.
Yeah, the heavy field gun.
Stygian
is
Bolt heavy field
basically
gun
the,
is fitted with a monstrous
94.5
94.5 cannon
considered
paired with a
the,
heavy angled blast
the
shielding.
AT
Inspired, I'm seeing the Reddit
to
comments already on this
tank
one.
ammo, so just
Inspired by
like
the
light
rows
tanks
of
have a
by the rows of narrow
AT
cannons in
ammo,
the homeland of the La
so
Crista
too do
province,
the battle tank
Messian
ammos
engineers
have an
designed
AT,
this field weapon to keep its
variant,
crew as
or
safe from
AT version
ancillary
of it.
fire as possible
And
while
that's what this
maintaining
field
forward
gun
momentum.
is
Oh,
meant to
that's
fire.
sick.
This is
Let's
we hope
go.
will feel as powerful in the game as the field weapons currently do. We wanted the field weapons to feel like the infantry had a fighting chance against some of these larger larger vehicles coming into the game, and so this was just a good opportunity
Backstabber
to,
only
give
complain.
them
Yeah, this guy just fucking like.
And if you,
I'm all for
for
scrutiny,
old players,
and like
if you
obviously
remember
this
how
it's
destructive
it's
the
all lovely,
75
but there's gonna be
millimeter
stuff
was
they
to a
need to
light
fix,
tank
absolutely.
back
But just
then,
like chill the
then
fuck
this
out,
one's,
man. Like, come on.
light tanks have
Sitting
something
there
to
acting like this is a humanitarian crisis.
Yeah, and as we this piece of content alongside some of the other larger vehicles, just want to say that these are harder to produce, so they're sort of part of that set of mounting goals that we have in the game, and this is the counter to those mountain goal tanks, right?
The Wardens get a nice 75 one, and I really like the model fit. I like how this one came out. But their field equivalent is a 75 millimeter, and I can't wait for you guys to just to see it in action, because it's the 75 is really cool.
Yeah. Interesting story behind this and these two previous field weapons is that they we actually designed those battle tank and the AT tank field weapons a long time ago, and when we introduced these high velocity field guns, we actually did it at the last minute because we didn't want to bring the battle tank ammo back in yet until this update. So these ones were put in sort of as a stand-in to a deal with issues with the meta at those times. And so these weapons ended up being more powerful than we expected them to be, more than we
Collie
wanted them to be.
HV40.
So and
Okay.
we've been hearing feedback about these for months about how they're too strong, and that's
So that's like
main
for that's like the
motivation
push
why.
40
So
for the
these ones have been
what is it?
these
Because the
field
Wardens had a
weapons are gonna be brought
HV40, right?
back
So now
into
we have
line
one. Okay, that's
with
good.
where they
And then
really
we
always
don't we
intended
have
them to
a
be, so that they're not just the end
HV68?
all of-
So now they
of
have
field
one. That's
wep-
good.
of weapons, but they'll still be powerful.
The copium worked.
And then you guys will have these new larger caliber variants to go along with it.
Yo, this is sick. I like this. I like this. This is fantasy design. I fucking love it. Built like a saw blade, the DEA 1B2 emplacement gun is fitted with 3 cascading machine gun turrets. With a Ceralax in power, it makes up for in sheer rate of fire for a weapon of its size.
So we are
That's
introducing some colonial variants of those, some counterparts to them. This one Mark particularly liked the design of when we were working on it. I love it.
I think it's great. Yeah, the design's fucking cool.
So
They
they're
really
getting an
nailed the aesthetic.
anti-infantry, machine gun.
3 barrel machine. Yeah, and it's got like the middle panel. Oh,
and
what's
here
this?
is their
In-placed
equivalent,
arc
which is
RPG.
a
To combat
very unique,
Sievish ingenuity, the Messians
weapon,
develop their own indirect RPG
firing
propulsion
the,
system. Dual launchers are fitted on a
rounds,
large
the
emplacement
Piat
platform to
launcher
maximize
round,
coverage
but
in
it
an
does it
established
quite
position,
uniquely.
rather than being
It has
relegated to a
obviously
guerrilla warfare
double-barreled,
tool. Let's
and
fucking
just a
go!
badass looking
Let's
little, like,
go!
Vogue
So
gun.
now, Armor's gonna be fearing for their lives when they see this.
Max,
75
you
millimeter
can talk to
emplacement.
the
Yes.
newer, the large scale emplacement.
Not to
Yep,
be outdone
so
by its
this,
counterparts, the
these
2A1
large-scale emplacements are
Ruptura
gonna
is
be
fitted with a
firing
75
those
millimeter
extra large
cannon,
rounds. It's
designed to aid in
important
holding
note
ground
that
for long
these
durations. The
weapons don't
Ruptura is a
stack
strong,
ammo
efficient
inside them.
anti-armor tool.
They have to be loaded similar to artillery, so you
That's
have to bring
sick.
them up one at a
That's
time.
so
You need
cool,
to have
man.
ammo stockpiles nearby, brought in by hand. But we hope that their power, where they sit on the power curve, will be well worth that extra effort to field them.
I'm in the Summon Sigil chat and I'm just not looking
And
because
there's
some
the
people
reward.
already be bitching and I don't.
For
I just want to be
different-
happy that we're getting
different
another
cal-
update.
One gets a 94.5, the other one gets a 75.
Well, that one
They'll
doesn't
both
have a blast shield.
the
Ooh. I guess that's for
large or
balance.
heavy emplacement
Built to
cannon.
complement other freestanding artillery pieces, the emplaced Huber Starbreaker launches 94. Okay. They heard me reading.
Cool.
They didn't want me to.
One of my favorite new things.
Yes!
This is
Armed
an
with a rack of
advanced
Bonesaw
variant
mortar
of
launchers,
the
the
Outlaw,
Thornfall is designed to launch an indirect
and
mechanized
it
assault
is
on enemy
basically
armor.
a unique
This unique vehicle supports an
indirect
allied assault and cannot
anti-tank
withstand large
option.
amounts of
We
punishment.
had a cool idea to try to get.
That's gonna be so sick.
If we could get a
Who's this
second
fucking
rank
guy who keeps
of
putting this
warden
here? Like,
tank
calm
firing,
down.
that would be the trade-off for the weaker hit points that the
But
weaker hit
One
points that
Piece
the
is
outlaw
real.
tanks have. So we are attempting something unique, and it's a really fun tank to play.
Julian's excited about this one, but the entire balance team is very worried about this.
I don't care about them.
Yeah, it's actually that's a funny point. There's always this contention between the not always, but sometimes there's a contention between the balance team and the concepting team, because concepting team comes up with some really cool stuff, and then
Devs don't
goes to
care
balance
about
team,
balance.
team's
Bro,
like,
relax. It was a joke.
I'm gonna do this.
Come on, man.
Hey.
But it's really cool because I think it allows us to always push the envelope on the concepts, making the game as cool as it can be, and then at the same time, just being able to get it into the game in a way that works well.
I consider it part of my job to challenge the balance team. Like I want to make their
He's
life
fucking
hard.
funny, man. I like him.
So there's your front and back shot. I love this tank.
Yeah, and it's got the tarp on the
Great.
back. That's a cool
All right.
detail.
So we've seen sort of more.
Almost looks like a flare system because they
new-
usually have it
new
on like the sides of an
vehicles, new
Abrams, that kind of
weapons,
stuff.
Using, more or less the kind of tech that we already. Conventional weapons. We have larger shells, but maybe we can start looking at something entirely new, right?
Oh, flamethrower. Come on, it's got to be a flamethrower. You can't call it in. Yes! That's so fucking cool! That's so fucking cool! They have a flame armored car! Oh my god. Yes, that's all I've wanted. Battlefield 1 fucking flame trooper class. This is all I've wanted. Flame tank. This is gonna be so sick. It better be good at like clearing out established positions, like in buildings and stuff. Oh, there we go. Does it cling on? No, I think it's a temporary, but it's sick. Flame destroyer. God damn. Dresden 1945. Yes. Alright, now I'm... Yes, flamethrowers. Just pump the oil line
So we
into
get
my
to the
tank.
Inferno part of the Inferno update.
Yeah. I don't know why we call it this update Inferno. It's just
Yeah, I don't know. Let's
one
change
part.
it.
Let's change it now. It's gonna be called Logi update.
Yeah.
Bone wagon.
Update. Yeah, we're finally adding fire weapons into the game, and there's gonna be a host of
Fire deals damage over
new content
time.
around
Fire
this,
spreads
anything
dynamically in
from,
towns. Oh, and it interacts with weather systems. Ah,
flamethrowers,
okay, that
armored
makes sense.
cars,
Flames can be
tanks,
extinguished using water buckets.
larger tanks.
Fire
the
spread.
entire
Oh, this is
spectrum.
gonna get out of hand so fast. The fire spread
Yeah,
mechanics.
and
Rip
yeah, I don't know
furries.
if,
Is that partisan
if
hero?
there's, I think there is. Max, maybe you can get into all the cool things.
Scared of that guy, man.
About fire, because I know
He
that
can make that joke because he is a furry,
you know,
but I've heard
you're
weird
one of the
shit.
ones on the team that push hard to make it not just a simple.
Can't wait to
mechanic of
burn the
but
hospitals.
You
Oh,
want
wow.
it to be more, right?
This one was a
Yeah.
lot of work.
This I think everybody on the team for goals for this, for fire weapons in general, has been we wanted to see like towns on fire. We wanted to see it was a very real problem during like actual like combat. You have to deal with fire. We wanted it to be something that you have to consciously think about as a defender and as an attacker to supplement.
I
your
mean,
attack,
I'll be
not
honest, I
be the
totally
sole
see a
focus
rookie
of.
just
So
setting
one of the
fire
most-
to
one
his
of the
own team
most
by like
exciting
using it
parts
and then
of
the
this
fire
feature
just
that
comes back the other
I'm
way.
most excited
But like
about
that's
was
part
that
of the
it
fun, man.
spreads
Like people
dynamic
take this
within
game
the
too
town by
seriously.
wind
That's part of the
conditions.
dynamic nature of
So-
war, man.
Hopefully we can balance this right, is that it should be considered a strategy that setting a town on fire will enable the defenders, or will occupy defenders, may not necessarily destroy the town, but will occupy them in order to give you a chance to push in and take ground. Or if the defenders are negligent and choose not to deal with this dynamic problem, that it could rage out of hand and become untenable. So we'll see where it lands with that, but super excited for that. The flames can be extinguished by water buckets. I really wish we had a video for this. What we really want to see with this is strings of players bringing water to the buildings that are on fire and putting them out by like
That's gonna be
daisy
so
chaining
funny.
these water groups from rivers, from wells, from water resources, which we talked about earlier. You'll be able to bring water into the town via truck and logistics, or you
By truck,
if
yes.
there's
So we have
water
fire
sources
trucks.
nearby, like in lakes.
Well, not
can-
fire
you
trucks.
can source it
Logi
from
trucks
there
with
as well.
waters in them, so technically a fire
So
truck.
there will be some.
So
parts
you
of
could
the
be a
world
fucking
with very
fire
little water that
service.
are
Yo,
harder
we
to
can have fire
deal with these,
departments.
flame problems.
Colonial fire department.
Yeah. hopefully
Oh
that,
my god. We can have a
That'd be pretty
colonial
cool.
fire department. That is
And one of
sick.
the thing. Oh, sorry, you go first.
Oh, I was just gonna say you can light on fire more than just towns as well, right? Like the player defenses and all that stuff can go up.
Oh yeah, the secret to destruction is everything burns.
The one thing that I really excited about for this feature is how hard that we work to make sure that fire interacts with the rest of the sandbox in a way that is natural, so we don't add in. We have done in the past, and we're trying to do less of it, adding these sorts of like one-off type of mechanics. But in this case, I'm happy because, for example, the water buckets interacts with the resource of water now, which is also used in the facility. So it's just, again, another part of the sandbox. The fact that it interacts with the weather system is another thing that is just a part of the sandbox. And the fact that fire spreads according to the wind is already something there. It affects other parts of the game, like artillery trajectories. So basically, as we start developing more and more of these features, we always want to look back and say, how can we tie it back into the sandbox, right?
I think on that note as well, the
Yes,
temperature
Molten
of the
Wind
player
and the
is
Willow's
also
Bane.
impacted. So,
This one looks
while
cooler, but I like
with
the sort of
weather, you
triangular
can
barrel
freeze,
on this.
if
That's
you're
cool.
standing in a burning building, you're going to heat up and eventually catch on fire.
Can
also
flamethrowers unfreeze tanks?
Down to
Probably.
the water, if you have the time. I mean, if you're burning, you're gonna die pretty fast. But if you have the time and you can jump into a river, you will extinguish the fire because water puts out fire. So just to
Yes.
kind of like follow through that whole thought of like the sandbox.
There's another tying it into old features too, because we could freeze you and now we can burn you. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so here's a look at the infantry flamethrowers. I believe the way this works is that the torch, the weapon, the flamethrower is a weapon, and the backpack is an equipable. It's basically like an equipable ammunition. So you burn through it, and then you get another one, I believe is the idea. So it works in a unique way, but it feels very good when you're actually playing, when you're lighting stuff on fire. And to look at some of the flame variants. I went through, when I was designing this stuff, I decided that these would be variants of existing vehicles because there are some, but there's fewer examples of a brand new tank from scratch being built as a dedicated like flamethrower vehicle. I think the Germans had one in World War II. But so we went the path of having
That's
variants,
sick. That
which
makes
is very
sense.
cool because we got to basically pick and choose the ones that we wanted to toss a flamethrower on and toss a flamethrower on them.
Yep, got the
There
tarp
is,
there as well.
Some of these say in the
Flame
main
armored car
armament,
with a
some of
noble
these say
firebrand
flamethrower and some say
MK.
heavy. That's basically
What is
just
that?
to
12 is a
differentiate
deadly
between
flamethrower
the
tank, a more
range
efficient
of
means
the
of employing
flamethrower,
flame weapons
because
as
it's
needed.
worth
Enter
noting
the
that the
Wild
different
Jack, named for the
flamethrowers have
fire
different
elders made by
effective
children for
ranges
dead harvest,
too,
for
which
Wild
is
Jack
really
is a
cool.
variation of a Highlander.
Yeah, and the
Wow.
tankette and the armored car.
I love the
basically
O'Brien
your,
armored car. The O'Brien and the Devitt
infantry flamethrower
sort of series
with
of vehicles are cool.
vehicle
I like
armor
that.
to avoid
They're my
small
favorite,
arms, 'cause,
aesthetically.
flamethrower trooper is going to be a pretty available target to other infantry.
Yeah. One thing I did want to bring up that we didn't talk about, Max, is how you can produce the ammunition for this and supply it up to the front.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, this goes back also to the large ammo. We were the 75 millimeter, this 94.5 millimeter, this flame ammo. The stuff that you're going to need for this is all going to come from facilities. It's all going to be a part of that system. So being able to produce these kind of weapons is going to be a part of your new logistics chain.
And
Light
here
flame
are
tank.
the tanks.
Modified
So if
hatchet
you want
features a
something with
reinforced
more
cell,
heavier
fuel cell
armor
fixed to its
to
rear alongside a heavy
actually be able
flamethrower
to
turret.
survive maybe
This
a
light
stickier
tank can
danger too.
launch liters of burning fuel a fair distance while its
Yep,
crewmates
with
protected behind
bigger
light armor
flamethrowers
plating.
on tanks.
For Vulcan. Ooh. No tarp this time. Oh, that's actually... I don't know why that looks so naked. I've never seen the tank look that way. Maybe it's just me.
Everything's got cool lore names, and I legitimately.
In response
can't
to the
find
Legion
my
embarking
favorite
on aggressive
of
northern
all of
offensives,
the flame. Like every time when
the
if I see
firebrand
one
is
in
designed to
isolation and it's
conflagrate, that's a
shot, I'm
nice
like,
word,
yeah,
and
that's
eradicate their
a
garrisons with
tank.
ease.
And
Built
then I
using
see
the
the next
aggressive frame
one,
of a
like,
widow,
ah,
the
like a
firebrand is the
proper
pure
thing.
force of
But I
nature
do
when paired
love
with a
this one.
secondary
I
armored
really like the
escort.
firebrand. I gotta admit.
Yeah.
That is
It's pretty
cool.
Got that
Yeah.
pugnacious kind of. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I always like to see more variants of this tank because it's just been such a cool thing in the game.
It looks really aggressive. It's like a pit bull. Like it's,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like I don't know how else to describe it.
That's so cool.
And
Really outdone themselves
front
with
and
this.
back for anyone taking screen caps right now.
All right. Well, let's look at the next piece
Next
of.
feature.
How
Are
else will we
people
disclose
genuinely
that?
saying the devs award? Like, come on, man.
Take a sip of water.
Chill the fuck out.
Okay.
The devs are
Next
wardens.
piece of tech.
The
Everyone's
devs
ready.
are wardens. Just be happy with what we have, man. Like, what the fuck are you crying about? I'm telling you, I was right saying it was. Oh, rocket. Yes, there are rockets, and then you have to load them in. Rocket truck. Rocket truck. Retarius. Oh my god. Artillery mains are coming right now. Oh my god. Imagine being in a trench and then you just hear... That's sick. What's that? 12-barreled? 12-barreled push Katusha rocket? Katusha? I don't know how you say it.
Well, the hits keep coming, huh?
The hits keep coming, yeah, man. Moscow,
Right.
Moscow.
I think it's been a long. This one's been a
Long
long
reload
time
times,
coming.
poor accuracy, difficult to
it's like
transport
one of the first
ammunition,
things
mounted on
people were
truck,
busting
half
out
track, and
over.
field weapon
Was it?
chases.
Yeah, just like right when we launch. Are you gonna do?
Yeah. So Max, what is different about rock artillery versus standard artillery that we have right now?
So there are two types of artillery coming to the game, or two types of rocket artillery coming to the game. One is more damage focused, but with a small element of fire, and then another that is more incendiary. So both rockets will be able to ignite fires, but some are more specialized at it than others. Yeah. I don't know what else to say about
Well,
that. They will also be included with the facility's production, like logistics chain.
It's a like brand new the ammunition, the rockets are a brand new heavy item, just like artillery shells. You're obviously like this is whereas our artillery is considered more accurate is as accurate as artillery is. This is going for weight of fire and rapid fire at the cost of accuracy, as you saw with that sweet army of Warden trucks that was driving forward in the clip. That these rockets are intended to land all over the place and have almost a psychological effect. It's kind of neat to be standing around when they start raining down all over.
Yeah, I think from the introduction of artillery, even really early on, we had
Opened
the
the Twitter ad.
very old pre-winter army artillery. We've always made it a point to try to make the experience of being shelled feel really immersive in the game, and we kind of set the standard at the beginning, and I'm glad we've kind of had to carry that through. It's kind of every time it's like, oh, we can't, now that it feels like this next one, it can't feel any worse. It's like the bar, kind of risen the bar at a very early stage, and we've kind of had to keep that with us. But let's go through a couple of these variants.
Cool. I think everyone watching right now knows what vehicle we're referencing when we show this thing off as one of our most requested will you do this thing. But yeah, here's the Colonial Rocket Artillery truck. It's got 16, can load up to 16 rockets on it.
Sorry, I
obviously
was
one
looking away at my
theme
phone.
Is that these are slow to reload.
So it makes it sound like
more
I'm bored,
difficult
but it's
to
just like
aim
there are sort of
than,
big pauses where we do just
artillery,
reiterate what we were shown,
and the payoff
which isn't
is
me
just
being ungrateful.
launching
Like, it's
all
really
the
cool they've
rockets
done
at
this,
once,
but
which is
my
really
attention
badass.
span sometimes is a little bit short. This is cool though.
There's front and back.
Oh, looks like a fruit truck. Load the apples in, man.
And the Warden one,
The
which
nose
my
is so
personal
big. Why is it
favorite,
not like
and I
a
mean
Mario
favorite
enemy?
vehicle, I just love this
No, it
thing.
looks like that one Pokemon with a big nose and a mustache.
I
That's
went
what it
back
looks like,
and
bro.
tried to find some really obscure
Actually,
old
nah,
French
listen.
references. And
I've
found
got a
something
print
that's
screen now. I'm gonna
perfect.
do that edit and put it on Reddit. That's
And yeah,
just
this
funny.
thing uniquely, what Max had said before, this thing's going to fire a unique incendiary rocket, which there's a different mod, like in game, there's two distinct models for the regular rockets and the incendiary rockets. And this thing's just a little beast.
And the
Oh,
wasp.
here we go. The field
This
rocket
model has
launcher.
existed for close to like 2.5 years at this point.
Yeah, I think we planned this a while ago.
We planned these push. Oh yeah, this was when we were still doing faction symmetry. This was when we started planning this stuff. So to counter the Colonials' advantage with their pushable 120 millimeter light artillery, the Wardens have a pushable set of rocket artillery now, and that was the idea with this.
All right, we're starting to get close to the end. There's going to be one more piece of tech here that we'll take a look at.
Battle tanks! Oh my god! They're back! They're back! I get to fucking play in a battle tank! Yes! It's faster! What the fuck? Favorite tank. The Ares 075B. Favorite tank. Oh my god! Oh my god! What the fuck? Pump, 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 pump. Holy shit.
The chonkers have arrived.
The chonkers have arrived.
So why are we bringing back the battle tank style, Max? Tell us.
So
Yeah.
we took out the battle tanks ages ago because we had problems with balancing them. There wasn't enough levers in the game logistically to differentiate them from other types of tanks. So now that we have facilities, we feel like we have the capability to bring them back in a way that's meaningful. Our hope is that these heavy tanks will be supplemental to the rest of the tanks in the game. They're not going to completely outclass them. And the same can be said about the super tanks.
The super tanks.
Fucking
And,
hell.
I keep saying you.
This
guys have been
gargantuan
playing for a
beast
while,
is the
but you guys have
brainchild
been
of
playing
Grey
for a while,
Cullen.
and I
Once
remember
thought
me
impossible, the
constantly
Predator
bugging
was
you about
Cullen's
new
idea of how a
vehicle
great ship might
2020,
operate on
and,
land. It boasts
here's a
two
new
sets of
vehicle
quad barrel
that's,
grenade launchers
not
and a
from
heavy-duty
2020
94.5mm
Yeah.
forward-facing
2020,
cannon.
so you've got
While
8
limitations
more
of ground-based
years.
travel posed certain restrictions on the scope of the project,
anyways,
Cullen
we
wasn't
wanted to
deterred and made
explore
necessary
the depths
adjustments to meet
of
his vision of the
the,
ideal land ship.
attempted
Holy
super heavy tanks
shit.
during World War II as a unique
Look,
kind of
I'm gonna be
endgame
honest.
tank
I
that's
think all the
really
colonials are
hard
gonna
to
stop
do,
playing,
really
but
hard
it's
to
cool. I don't
crew,
fucking care.
really
I just
hard
want
to fuel. But the payoff is obviously in its unique like offensive power. and what it brings
Six-man
to
crew. That's
individual
sick.
fights.
So what? You got the
Um,
hull gunner, you've got the
So
commander, you've got the
Warden and
driver,
Predator,
you've got the
we
turret
wanted,
gunner, and then you have
Wardens
the
have
two
always
quad
had a
launchers.
kind of naval theme going on with all this stuff, so we really wanted that land battleship theme.
Dan Schneider tank.
going
What does
on
that
with its
mean?
unique array of
Who the fuck
armor.
is? Why do I remember that name? Wasn't even Nickelodeon guy?
And there's your really
Yo,
nice
that
renders.
is sick. I love it. I love the design. Aesthetic-wise, they've nailed
And then
it.
the Colonial super tank, which
That's sick!
This is one of Mark's personal
Six as
favorites,
well!
Mark's,
Armed with a
personal
dual
request to
75mm
have a
type, the Ares is a lumbering
dual
beast. What
battle
lacks in speed and
cannon tank
versatility, it more
in
than
the
makes.
game.
My one complaint is
and you
I
can
don't
tell,
like
again,
some of the
older
descriptions.
players will
They had a
remember
whole
the
fucking
APC
Valkyria
from
Chronicles
before, and
description
they
for the other
decided
one.
to
Where's that for the
expand on
Colonials, man? I
lore
want to know who
and
invented
kinda
it.
logic
I want to
of
have some
how the
fucking
Colonials
lore.
make their
That's my
APC
main
and
complaint with the
expand
game.
it
Like,
into
where's
a
the
full-on
lore? It's
super
so
tank.
inconsistent. Man.
So that's what we did, and again, this is it's when you see it, it's smaller than the other one, but it's they go toe to toe in a versus fight. It's a really unique fight to experience.
I was gonna call this tank like an assassin, but it's more like a barbarian.
Yeah,
You know, it's gonna come at you with full force, and good luck.
Yeah, something cool about these tanks and why we wanted to add them into the game for so long, not just for the gameplay side, but on on the lore side. I won't get into too much, but in the long history in the world,
Who's this?
at some point in the world,
Why
there
did they get too
existed,
rocket arty?
even larger
Sorry, I
tanks.
hit the wire.
And
They get too
obviously
rocket
some of
arty
that
because it's a
technology
field gun
no
and a
longer
fucking
exists in
half
the
track. Like, that takes
present
armats to
timeline.
make.
That's
We get a
is what
fucking
we wanted
truck.
to bring some aspect of that.
So even if it is armats,
into
that's
the
so
current
much
right?
cheaper to
So
make and
Yeah.
mass produce, bro. The fucking like
we
the
want-
frontline
with
combat, yeah, they
how
win,
many
but it's
we
indirect
hope that
fire,
will
so
be
like it's
deployed
not gonna
on
be
average.
frontline
We
combat.
want to capture that. Like these
Like,
are
come on, man.
rel-
Like, people just
these
wanna
are rare.
complain.
These take a lot of effort to make a new one, basically.
Can't the Colonials
Yeah,
get an
like,
engineer who values a
just to,
machine gun? That's
again,
very
go
true.
back,
We need a fucking whole gun on
facilities,
there.
this is not going to be an easy tank to make. It's going to be one of the hardest things in the game, so just
Ooh.
be ready for that. And yeah, I think we've kind of reached the end, guys. What do you guys think?
That's
Yep.
sick. That's
I
so
think
cool.
Good enough for.
There's
update.
definitely a little bit of stuff we got to follow up with, but yeah, this is gonna be a really exciting update, guys.
That's sick.
I don't know,
very,
Matt.
very-
I think we missed something.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I think we
That's
we
cool.
No, that's it. There's no like we don't. There's no way we have more
we
features. than
can't
that.
we can't top what we just showed off.
Add
kinda
more
tired. I think we should
uniforms,
stop this.
man. More uniforms is what I want. I want the ability to like do a
Probably not.
musician thing, like hold fast
I'm
nation
trying to
shit.
make
Yeah.
it natural.
Just
but
be
I
the
don't
be
think
the
it
be
Let us
the
have our
musician.
fun
Just
at
play the
all.
drums or the
Let us
bagpipes
have
till everyone
our
charges
lame
and
moment
dies. That's
that's
what I
super
want.
cringy, okay, HB?
Give me
Yeah.
more shit that isn't functional,
there's,
just fun. Just give me more shit like that.
Just one more
My
thing.
one complaint with the
Just one more.
with the uniforms was like they're cool and but like they're functional. They're purely fucking functional. Oh, they run okay. Oh, they have the actual trains. Yes, they have actual trains. Now that is fucking cool. That is fucking cool. That is cool. I'm happy with it. I'm very happy with it. Because I was very like, they are technically trains, but they're not great. And you can take the tanks on them. That's cool. They knew everyone was waiting for this. That is sick. Is it an armored train? Where's the gun? Or did we? Oh, I think we looked at an armored train just now. Nah, they've got the rails have to be preset. There's no way these are player put down. How are you gonna manage that? Like, there's no way. Yo, and then you could put it on the other train. That's cool. Oh god, I don't know how this is gonna go. What the fuck? No way. There's no way they did this. There's no way they made it play. No way. The coal car. That's gonna be the armored car in a second. Train logistics, a flatbed car, so you can take all the fucking tanks. Flatbed, yep. That's sick. That's sick. Train combat. Yo. Okay, so they've like put the asymmetrical warfare on a modular component. So like the front train is the same, but oh, that's cool. Well done. Oh. Train artillery. It's Factorio. It's fucking Factorio. Artillery trains. My god, man. That is so cool.
Right.
That's cool.
I've never been this excited for Foxhole before.
It's a thing
Oh, sorry.
on
Hit the wire again.
that moves fast.
mine cart. I don't know.
It's a large minecart.
Yeah, large mine carts confirmed.
The first war
Trains
this comes out, no
confirmed.
one's gonna
I mean,
know
how
what the
long
fuck
has
they're
it been,
doing.
guys, that people have been asking for this?
Since
Yeah,
day one.
I'm surprised this is given to the Colonials. This is like for a 7V tank for
Yeah,
Germans
so
had in
One of
World
the
War
first
One.
things I heard was like, you guys need to add trains.
Yeah, so when we first started to sit down to work on this, it's been a while. We knew the huge challenge to actually have player-built tracks, a player-built network, but we knew from the beginning, it wasn't even a question in our mind, that tracks have to be player-driven, right? So like I know among the community, there's always been this question: fixed tracks versus player-built tracks, but Foxhole is a player-driven game, and we want
That's
to make
right.
sure that players can,
I'm sure they'll find a way to make this tolerable,
the
but
tracks
that's right. You know,
themselves, and these
that's the
rails
philosophy.
can
So they can't have
command
something that's
in
predetermined. It has to be something that the player does.
entire world, and we've provided tools to make that happen. You can fork off your rails. There are switches to switch between those to switch between your rails. There's tracks can be elevated, as we know that the landscape isn't flat in Foxhole. So we really want to give players the tools to build these entire networks themselves. And our vision for trains is that trains on the logistics side is used to haul lots of equipment over many regions, but then local logistics happens conventionally with the truck. So we know there has been this issue, especially as the war goes on, and the supply lines get longer and longer, that it requires more and more driving. And what our goal is, we want driving to be more on the local scale. So trains are not intended, to be clear, to be driven all the way up, at least on the logistics side. Trains are not intended to deliver supplies straight to a frontline base.
They're meant
or
to
a
be
farm.
resource
Trains are
management,
intended
yeah.
to move
War resources.
crates from rear line shipping centers, rear line logic towns, rear line facilities, up to storage depots and seaports at the front, right? So there's going to be a variety of types of cars, logistics, infantry transport. We have the infantry car. We can talk more about that after. One note that I want to make in terms of the actual experience of using the trains, players can attach cars as they want. They can use the cranes to move cars around between the tracks, off the tracks. Trains are produced at the facilities. Materials to build the rails are produced at the facilities. And in terms of the and if you want to uncouple cars, you need to use a wrench. And one thing I want to talk about here is the roles. So there's obviously a driver, and there is a fireman role that can shovel coal into the engine and giving it a speed boost. So trains is also a cooperative activity. And yeah, I think Max, anything else to add in terms of balancing speed, anything like that?
Yeah, I think what you said was really important. That this is not something you deliver to the front line, but it does connect to, again, everything in this update connects back to facilities. You guys will notice that there's a bunch of vehicles on the back of these trains. One of the challenges that we know is going to come up with these facilities is if you want the variant, you have to deliver the base chassis to the facility, so you're going to need to transport them in mass, which means trains. Hopefully there's way more applications to trains that we still haven't talked about, that we don't have time to talk about on this stream. So yeah, hopefully you guys and you guys will tell us what else there is to.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm excited to see what they do with trains.
Yeah.
I want to have a special shout out to both Casey and Leon on our team, because if I said earlier the other tasks were a lot of work, this was like a monumental amount of work, Trains.
I just
They've
wanna say,
outdone
like,
themselves,
the
man.
amount of,
Sorry,
like,
I haven't
simulation
spoken in like the
involved
last
in
5
this
minutes,
is,
but
like, unreal. We
wow,
all know a lot more
they've
about
outdone
trains than
themselves.
we used to.
Just the fact he's mentioned how much work, I can only imagine how
to
much
the
work has
point
gone
where,
into
like,
this.
there's, you know, like a steam simulation with how much steam is expelled. Like, we did a lot of crazy stuff on this. I think it's been one of the coolest things to slowly see come together. We've been
Foxhole
working on
Inferno
this
is going to
for
be. I mean, I'm going to say the biggest update because it's 1.0, but like still,
an active development
it's
for like a
so
year.
sick.
It's almost like a mini game on its own. It's pretty.
It's definitely a mini game on its own.
Oh, and I think that facilities is right up there as kind of like its own game.
Yeah.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and these were done in like parallel too, so it's you know, it's been really cool to see come together as someone who is you know, not necessarily actively in all that stuff until closer to the end. It was really awesome to play with all this stuff for the first time. One of the coolest things to me is that you actually need to couple the cars together like manually. Like there's no magic here. You have to have a player outside coupling cars while another one's like it's really cool. Like I can't stress it enough.
Right?
That being said, yes, of course, trains can cross the border.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You can go from coast to coast with a train track if you want.
That has been asked a few times.
In this there's just something funny in this render. The flatbed's actually much bigger than the coal car. It's just they got scaled together.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Hit the.
So the flatbed car works like a flatbed truck, so you can put any shippable onto it, except it will hold the larger vehicles like the tanks. And yeah, the coolest thing about this is seeing 10, 15 like of these cars all linked together, and just the massive amount of supplies you can move with this stuff is just insane. Like it's a bit of a surreal thing. Like I don't want to like overhype it, but the first time you drive that train carrying all those supplies, it's something else. It's
It's
pretty
okay.
cool.
Yeah, it's
It's
all right. It's all right.
Another
Dude,
thing I've seen in chat like quite a bit is like, oh, is the train going to be unsuitable and stuff? This is probably like the most robust. Like tracks are probably one of the most robust things to build. That and along with the foundations, those two things together are really cool. And it's going to be really hard to explain until you get your hands on it, but
There's a lot of moving.
you won't be able to like you know, like anything, you won't be able to build it absolutely everywhere. There's going to be terrain that's in the way, but these are definitely some of the more robust.
That's
tools that we've built.
sick. That's cool. Infantry car, armored train with two mounted positions, transport.
Got, the
This
unique
one
thing
I
that
have
you,
reservations about.
Tripod
Because
points on
I guess
top
if
so
you
can
want to
attach any
transport like
tripod weapons
lodgy
to
people
it,
from place to
to
place, then
help
yeah.
protect your train. If
But
you
I
want.
don't know if that would work for frontline
And then it just
transportation
seems
because you
fruits
just sort
on
of
the
set your
inside. I think
spawn
the
already. Like that's the thing. That's
total's
why
8, right? 'Cause you have the
taxi
2 gunners and then
services
the 6
isn't really a
interior.
massive thing in a game with sort of like the battle bus infantry sort of movement. Because you just set your spawn and you're at the front, isn't it? That's
And combat cards, I pushed for this. I knew I wanted to have some faction-specific combat cards going on in the game, just to represent that era
Yes.
of time. I figure these might not be frontline vehicles, but they're definitely going to shake up like river crossings, some bridge battles and whatnot might be cool, and just keeping your backline defended. And specifically for this colonial one, if anyone likes the was it the Phalanx, the relic tank? There, yeah. Anyways, there's a node to that in this, which I think is pretty obvious.
nice. It looks like the German tank.
And
yeah.
the Warden
Whoa!
combat car. I wanted to make the 2 combat cars extremely different from each other, and that's basically how we ended at this beast of a machine with its cool twin turrets going on.
That's sick.
Mark,
And there
you
it
can talk about
is.
this.
Epic scan.
Faction neutral, both factions get it.
Max, you can talk about this.
Dev bias again.
Matt,
I'm
you can talk
begging
about this
colonials to shut the fuck
It's a-
up.
it's
I'm
a-
like
it's a
begging them,
storm
man.
cannon
I'm
that
a
you can
colonial.
move.
Just chill the fuck
It's pretty
out.
cool.
Like Yeah, there's going to be
It's
balance
really
problems.
awesome once you see
Absolutely,
it
there's going to be
firing
balance
live in
problems.
game
But
and
just like
moving
for
it
the time
around.
being, you know, like just
It's
enjoy it.
obviously a mobile
Fucking hell.
storm cannon. so
This
you have
fucking
freedom from
community,
the
man.
9
Sometimes I
tile
swear to
bunker
God,
bases you have to make, but the trade-off being
crying
is
about
you
everything.
can't always aim 360 degrees. It's limited to how you build your train tracks. It can pivot a tiny bit on its wheels in its chassis, but you got a plan with this thing.
One thing I really like is how this train moves along the track because it's unique compared to the other trains because it's just so long that to make the corners, the bogies at the front and the back have to rotate separately.
That's
And
I
just
like that
kind of
design-wise. That's
seeing the whole
cool.
thing in action when it's moving along a curved rail is just I don't
That's
know,
nice.
it just looks really cool.
It's neat.
We're putting building train tracks has a hard mode to it where sometimes you can't build turns too tightly, basically.
Oh.
For anybody who hasn't played the game yet and doesn't know what a storm cannon is,
Everybody knows.
everybody knows this is a cannon artillery that can fire a very long distance, including across region borders. So that's the big deal with this.
It being
That's
mobile is a big deal.
Yeah. But we knew for his referencing history reasons, it was a must include for trains when we started planning it.
Yeah, I think this was almost right alongside the player built tracks.
Yep.
There was just these few things where it's like, okay, we have to have this. It was kind of funny because while trains was extremely challenging feature to work on, in terms of coming up with what we wanted to include the content, it was like we all just had like the same idea in our minds. Like it just had to have these few things, and I'm sure a lot of people in the community share that same thought. Right?
Yep.
So
And I mean, this is just the beginning. In future updates, I'm sure we'll see more.
Oh, yeah.
Train content. So
I've just
Consider
seen
this- I've said it
7,000
before on a
people.
different stream, but
Wow.
consider this the first offering. Like this is a system that we built that we want to expand into the
Yes.
future and future updates.
Well done,
and whatnot.
devs. I've
Yeah,
had a
and
couple
the
of
same goes for
discrepancies
the,
with your moderation of
facilities.
some
In fact, for
players.
facilities, I would
And
say
the whole,
it's
sort
maybe
of
that's even more
giving
so.
the wardens just a
Yep.
random tech boost when they weren't even playing.
Showed
But
today
you've outdone
are
yourselves.
vaccines that
And you get
can
harassed for no reason, so my
like
sympathies,
the
and well done.
flames,
Outdone
Oh
yourself.
yeah, the flamethrower. Oh
morphines
yeah.
that we-
yeah, it's
morphine
Time to sit on
immediately,
top of a
we
train
can
and
expand
flamethrower
on it
drive-by.
as
Crazy.
with the next updates.
Yeah, and for facilities,
Oh,
there's
that's
one
cool.
thing I want to point out. There's a really cool feature that we are thinking about, or we're working on for. It's not gonna come anytime soon, but it's gonna.
This is
tie
true.
back into
Foxhole's an
facilities, and
extremely
facilities is
underrated
gonna be a
game.
big
Like,
part
this
of,
is sick.
constructing really cool, something really cool in the future. So, so Foxhole's coming out. Inferno's coming out September the 28th. So look forward to that. There's going to be a bunch of activities happening that just want to highlight between now and then. One is actually
No.
right after this stream,
September
there's gonna be
28th.
a roundtable.
Oh
the
no!
community
What day
hosted-
is it today? It's the
hosted by
8th,
ISOC
right?
Air.
It's the 7th. Fuck, that's
So
3
there's gonna be
weeks.
A whole bunch of other
Oh, part of me
streamers,
wants to make a video for that day,
that
but
are
another part of
part that,
me's
and a lot
like,
of
I
you
don't know if I
you
can.
go there
I don't know if
and
I
watch it.
can.
We're gonna rate them.
That's so.
Yes,
That's
and
so
we're
much
also
closer
setting
than I
up
thought it was gonna be. I
a,
thought it was like 2 months.
question answer thread on Foxhole Reddit. So we'll after a short break, we'll get that up there, and we'll try to get your questions answered. And we're gonna be posting a dev blog next Monday because, like I said, there's still some content that we didn't have time to show in this stream. We didn't want the stream to go on for
Please
hours,
stop using Reddit.
so
me to the
on
entire
facility
human
side,
race.
There's a lot of stuff.
Also,
that
this
we
guy,
can
he just
cover.
keeps
There's
posting the
some
same thing. Like,
other,
what sort of
potentially
online
other
activism does he
vehicle
think he's
content
doing
that,
for a fucking
we
video
just
game?
still weren't able to fit. And the dev branch we're targeting right now, if everything goes well, for it to open on September 13th. That's next Tuesday. It's going to be a cool concept art post on the 20th. You've seen this in the last couple of
Yep.
feature updates. Julian's done a lot of concept art for this update, so that post I'm super looking forward to. And then September 28th is the big day. So
Hey.
that is all. And please go over watch the community roundtable. It's gonna be
Yo.
exciting. I know I'm gonna tune in for
Post
some time.
Devstream stream.
So yeah,
Dislike that he's on it
everybody
because
head
he's
over
a bit
there.
of a dickhead, but
I'm gonna initiate a raid.
this is cool.
Is I Saw Bear live right now?
Lol, no Larry. Thank fuck no Larry.
I don't want to send everybody.
Who are
on
the,
the
genuinely? Who are
But
these
anyway,
people who
long
still
story
think like
short,
he was
we're very,
contributing? He
very
was bringing in
excited
like
to,
free
show off
marketing.
all
That's
this
the only
content
reason
you
they
guys
kept him
are doing.
around until they
We're
eventually
working
banned
very,
him.
very hard to.
Thank God. I haven't played in a
stream
month.
and
Thank
prepare
God
for
they
this
removed him.
update,
It's
and
about
we hope
fucking
that you all
time.
Really,
Don't know why people are pretending like they
dig in
enjoyed
and
him. He was just a
enjoy,
dickhead.
all this cool stuff. This is a huge update. Like this time
XQC.
we're not, you know, pulling
Imagine
back. It's
XQC
it's not
playing
a
this
big up.
game.
This is
The
a big
amount of
update.
traction he'd bring.
It's gonna shake up everything you know about Foxhole, and I think you know,
There's been a lot of
this is
thunderstorms in this area
is just,
lately.
This is just the beginning.
It's more of the same as well.
Yeah.
Yep. I also want to do my regular spiel with regards to the dev branch for those of you guys who want to know how to get onto it, so you can help us with the feedback. It's on our Discord. We'll be posting the information on that day on how to get it, and how to provide your feedback to us. Please track all of your work. Post it into the feedback channels with as much evidence as you can. Videos are great. Spreadsheets are better.
I hit the fucking
Videos are the best.
mic arm
but
with my phone.
spreadsheets are great. But again, reiterating on Mark's point earlier, is that one of the biggest challenges this update is balance. So if you see anything that stands out as being wrong or unfair, try not to get too alarmed by it. Things are going to be constantly in motion. Balance is going to be constantly moving with you guys' feedback throughout the dev branch. So please give us as much information as you can, and we'll hopefully get a really great product by the time the September 28th comes around.
Awesome. So is I Saw Bear live?
Yep, it's all good.
Okay.
All right, everybody, head on over
Thank
to I
you.
Saw Bear's channel. Enjoy this roundtable with the community. It should be pretty informative, and a lot of great minds in there. But
Apart from him, but yeah.
1.0 is coming.
Yes, that's sick.
Thoughts?
Yeah. Very exciting. Bye, guys.
All
Later.
right.
Bye. Thank
So,
you. You've
raid-
outdone yourself.
Raid
Well
has
done.
begun, so
Leave.
everybody,
No.
as soon as you make sure you join up and go show I Saw Bear in the community stream some love here.
Okay. I'm just gonna pause. I'm gonna close chat as well. That was an insane stream. This is my first dev stream, pretty much. I've dropped in for a couple of other ones, but I've never been for a full dev stream. So this was really cool to actually attend for an entire one and be here with the chat. Despite some dickheads in the chat, because like it's Foxhole, you get loads of fucking weirdos there. A lot of it was cool, and it was actually really nice to see a bunch of people going, "Oh, well done, devs. Thank you so much." Like it's nice to know that some people do genuinely appreciate the effort they put in. Even amidst, you know, my own critiques and some of their critiques, they do appreciate the amount of work they put in. It's really cool. They're really making it robust for the logistics and building, and they've added so many vehicles, and it's really cool. It's just really sick. That's the only way I can describe it. It's quite redundant. So I'm gonna just keep it here and not play because I'm not streaming. I was just recording this for anyone who cares for a reaction. I'm just trying to think if I had a discrepancy as much as it doesn't matter. Actually, what I was going to say, there you go, because I was like, as I was watching, there were just so many people complaining. There were loads of people being nice, but there were so many people going, dev bias this, warden bias that, like, all of this, and I'm just sitting there going, man, I'm a colonial. I played during a lot of the frustrations. I can understand some of the balance arguments, but holy shit, you people sometimes cannot be satisfied. Like, yeah, there's going to be balance problems. Did you see some of the tanks? Like, that shit's insane. A double, quadruple grenade launcher that launches fucking tremolas? That's going to be fucking insane, right? But, like, let that happen. You know, there's going to be a dev... that sort of practice server they do. The dev... I can't remember what they called it. It's the one that they sort of experiment and see the bugs that need to be fixed and all of that. But they'll do that. And there'll be all of that time to fix that. And then even when it gets released, there'll be all that time to fix that afterwards. So, like, people need to chill the fuck out and just enjoy it. Like, just enjoy what's going to come. Additionally as well, God, I had this all in my head as I was watching it. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to talk about this afterwards. And then it just slipped out my ass as we got to this point. Very, very well done. Once again, the complaint I was talking about earlier, actually, was with the uniforms. Because the uniforms are cool. Like, they're cool functional designs, and it's nice to have, like, a way of dedicating yourself to a specific role. I like that we have medic uniforms. I like that we have engineer uniforms. All of that shit's great. And it lends itself to sort of like a class-based system, almost, if you have the luxury of getting a uniform. Officer uniforms I don't really understand, because, like, apparently it doesn't persist through death, so if you die, you just lose it. And I don't really understand that. And that's what I was talking about with the uniforms. Some of them are too functional. The officer uniform is what I was talking about. The officer uniform should just be an automatic thing you get if you're leading a regiment, I think. You should automatically have that if you're a regiment leader. It doesn't need to be something that's made. No one's going to fucking make it. Why would you waste your time making something that doesn't persist through death, that is purely done just to, like, sort of suck off a regiment leader? That's it. I don't see the point in that. It should just be something that's purely aesthetic. And that's what I was also going to say. For just general uniforms, it'd be nice to have some form of individual customization. In regards to what hats you wear, what gloves you wear, what insignias you wear. That would be cool. Obviously, all adhering to a set theme, so the Colonials still have their green uniforms and the Wardens still have their blue overcoats, but having something that does change between them. And it would be cool as well, because regiments would be able to customize, you know, there'd be requirements like, oh, we want you to have your uniform look like this, all of that stuff. So then, like, when you're on the front, you'd be able to recognize other clans going, oh shit, that's Som there because they wear that. They make everyone wear that. Like, that'd be fucking cool, I think. It'd be nice to have decals as well. Like, I saw that when you upgrade a tank, you get, like, the sort of camo on it. I don't think that, you know, that's too functional. Just let that be a fun thing. And I think maybe designate it in another way. You should be able to put flags on your tanks. You should be able to put decals on your tanks. That shit is needed. There has to be some form of, not even progression, but like individual player expression that I think would make it a lot more fun. I don't like that you've got to look like everyone else. You've got to look like you're in a faction. You've got to look like you're united. But at the same time, I'd like to be able to just sort of look a little different to everyone else. Or be part of a set group in how I look. I don't like the fact that a lot of the uniforms kind of, you just kind of look the same as everyone else. It doesn't really matter. I'm not a fan of that. I feel like they could really be creative with that. But that's like a nitpick, you know, because that's, once again, it's not functional. It's a nice thing to have. Ultimately, all the stuff they've done is super fucking cool. It was really cool. I don't know, like, the functionality of trains, I don't know how that's going to go, because, like, you've got ulting, you've got, you've all that kind of stuff. I said all that kind of stuff, I only said one thing, but you get what I mean. There's going to be some problems with it. And knowing the player base, there's going to be some problems with ulting and griefing and team killing, all this stuff, especially with flamethrowers. But I just think, like, people need to lighten up a bit and just enjoy the ride. If bad shit happens, bad shit happens. The devs are going to fix it. Because, you know, like, at the end of the day, it is their vision and they love it, but also they need to fucking make money. So they're not going to do anything that's just going to destroy the game, or, like, just because they support one faction, they're going to jeopardize the financial stability of the venture. That's not going to happen. So just enjoy it, is what I'd say to people. I don't want to talk too long. I'm not going to watch this stream because I want to get Chinese, and the Chinese was closed yesterday because they're always fucking closed on Tuesday, and I didn't eat anything throughout the entire day. I was so looking forward to it, and I didn't get to fucking eat Chinese, so I kind of want to order it today because I can't be asked to cook, and it's 8:30. I've got to be up at 7. So, yeah, I hope you all have a good one. Thank you for watching this. You probably don't know who I am because I'm just a random guy on the internet. Make sure to go watch Creepy Banana. He's a cool guy. And Demon. They make cool songs. Those are two creators you should absolutely check out. They're cool people. But yeah, I guess I'm going to leave it there. And thank you, Siege Camp, for making such a great game. I'm looking forward to playing it. Oh god, the rain. Looking forward to playing it when it comes out.